What's going on, guys? It's Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring you that slate breakdown for this 2-game NBA preseason slate. You guys already know what time it is. It's the NBA right around the corner. I don't know what you guys are doing. If you have not hit that subscribe button yet, hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the content I'm putting out over here. Going to be covering the NBA season this season. Cannot wait to actually break down these games, get through it. Been grinding out this preseason, and it's been pretty good, pretty decent. As you can see, I got my lineup on the screen right now to go over last night's lineup, and I win the donkey of the day for sure going over this, but definitely hit the like button if you guys have not done so already. If this video or any of the other videos I put out help you guys in any way, shape, or form, win some money or anything like that, means a lot for the support. And with that being said, let's go ahead. Let's talk about last night. So last night, a lot of news. It was like a regular NBA slate. A lot of news was coming out right up to lock, right up to that 7 o'clock time frame. We're getting news left and right, and that's why I say definitely follow the Patreon, get inside the Discord, because I post a lot of information in Discord. I'm going back and forth with everybody in the Discord as I'm getting the news. I'm answering questions and everything, and even up on the Discord, I put up an alternative core because I put my player pool sheet and the core up there on the Patreon, of course. So if you guys want to check that out and you want to see not only my content, but my boy BK, who has been killing it with the NHL props right now. I want to say he's on a 3-day heater, and of course the season just started, so we're only 3 days in, but 3 days straight up cashing his power 2 plays of the days. They've been hitting it, and he's been giving out a couple of 5 and 6 slips that have been hitting as well. So definitely, if you guys want, besides my content, check out my boy BK and everyone else that we got over here at the No Days Off fam. You definitely do not want to miss any of the stuff that we got going on. He's on a heater. We rolling right here with preseason. DFS size doing really well. Not really mess with the props, just a little bit. I did drop some nuggets inside the chat for those, just because I really don't like price picks. The fact that all they got right now is just the points. I can't get jiggy with that. I would like to see more of the other stuff, the assists, rebounds, that stuff like that. But nonetheless, I digress. Anyway, last night's line, as you can see, I put the core up on site, and inside of the original core that I had Jaren Jackson Jr., I had Triple J, but not Triple. I had Jaren Jackson Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., and I had James Wiseman. As you can see, look at my center position. I ended up getting off of Wiseman because the news that came out that Wiseman wasn't starting, and after Damian Jones had locked, I said to myself, why the fuck did I switch off of James Wiseman when originally I didn't even think he was going to start? I had a lapse of moment in my brain where I wasn't paying attention and I wasn't sharp like I should have been. And I let myself just make a rookie, really dumb mistake right there. And it legit cost me, because as you can see, if James Wiseman would have played, I scored 224 with a negative from Damian Jones. Let that sink in, with a negative. And of course, Jabari Smith Jr. was high on him all day. I played him, locked in. The news that the Pelican Stars were going to play into the third quarter, that got me onto playing Brandon Ingram, Kyle Kuzma. I wanted him playing in that Charlotte game. As you've seen, if you've seen the player pool and sheet, it was the Poole and Kuzma show. That's exactly what it was out there. Sarah Thompson wanted him, was playing all those minutes. If he didn't get into foul trouble, he probably would have played more and got more, which of course, as you've seen, he was chalk. 68% ownership, kind of convey that. Zach LaVine, we had got word that the starters for the Bulls were going to play into the third quarter. So of course, ended rock with him. And then just Terry Rozier, wanted to play LaMelo Ball. Kind of glad that I wasn't able to get up to him and ended up going with Terry anyway instead, because he ended up having the better game scoring wise and just production wise all around. So that was good right there, getting to him. But picking up Zach LaVine, Brandon Ingram, getting those two pay up guards, as you've seen, 10% ownership, and they actually did pretty decent, pretty good. Could have went with Devin Booker instead of BI, and got that late night hammer and had caught maybe a couple more points if I would have went with D-Book. I want to say the person who played first, that they actually had D-Book inside of their line instead. But nonetheless, this was the big difference for me. When we had got that Memphis news that Triple J and Bane were going to be out, scrambling, looking at it, I was like, all right, well, shoot, Salty Aldama. He's a pretty decent. He's a great fantasy point per minute producing player out there. Just the upside that he has, the fact that he's a big, he can stretch the floor, hit it, as you can see, high score in the game, actually 22.7 rebounds, 2 from 3, 6 assists, and a couple of turnovers. I want to say he has some defensive stats. I'm pretty shocked that those aren't up there. But nonetheless, really good game from him overall. Like, smashed. And 16.4% ownership. Love that. If you went Zaire instead of Aldama, let you pay up for someone else instead, get a different high price guard or something like that, you did pretty decent as well. But once I got that news that they were playing, that's what it was. But the reason why I'm kicking myself just looking at that, Damian Jones, of course, the negative, all that shit that he ended up getting me pretty much, which was nothing, nonetheless. But if I would have stuck with my original of playing James Wiseman, I legit would have had, I want to say, like because Wiseman finished with 39, I would have ended the night sitting in the second place. I would have had first for a little bit, but then the guy that's up in top, Slim 16, he had Devin Booker, who ended up just helping out his line overall for the most part. So, but I would have ended up at like a 264, and I would have took second, so which would have been for 2,400, which would have been great. Still wouldn't have been takedown, but nonetheless, still decent, great. I would have taken that all day, every day. Beautiful. But moving on over here to today, and again, if you guys want to get the player pool, the cores, and everything I'm putting out, definitely check the link down in the description below for that. For the Patreon, it's only $10. I promise you, you guys literally will make that back within your first week. We have more than just my stuff and BK stuff. We got a lot of people that put out stuff over here, and you choose who you want to follow. All right, so looking at it, we got a 2-game slate, pretty much. No news once again. Of course, I'm pretty sure news is gonna flow right before lock. We did get news that Miami, they're pretty much sitting, like a whole bunch of people are out. Jimmy Butler, he's not gonna be playing today. He's already been ruled out for preseason. Bam, he's been ruled out for this one as well. Pretty much everyone that you see the questionable tags on, they're out. They're not playing. So it's just gonna be the scrubs, the backup guys for Miami. Looking at it, it looks like this is all that Miami has. So you would imagine it's gonna be a pretty tight rotation. But I will say that they are missing a couple of people up here in the player pool for them that are not on the DraftKings player pool. Now I can only imagine that Miami's really just sitting all these players because they play again on Sunday. So no reason really to push anybody. It is preseason, of course, but just from looking at it, I can already tell you it's going to be very much stars and scrubs build for today's slate, especially because you're going to get all this value in these first 2 games between Miami and the Spurs. And then, of course, just trying to figure out what studs, who's going to play for the Golden State Warriors and Los Angeles Lakers. That's what everyone is going to do for tonight's slate. That's what it's going to be. So picking the correct spots in the first game is going to be very much key in order to figure out what you're going to do with the late game, because I doubt we're going to have that news in the middle of the day or anything like that. Definitely going to want to pay attention for that information right there. Looking over here straight up for Miami, straight out the gate, I'll tell you, Thomas Bryant, love him. Great fantasy point producing player. In that last game that he played 19 minutes, dropped 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. So definitely don't mind Thomas Bryant. You can tell me he's pretty much going to split half of the center minutes out there, because it should be between him, Orlando Robertson should be playing the center position. So it should be between him and Orlando Robertson out there playing center. So definitely Thomas Bryant, still young enough to go out there and do a little damage or something. Duncan Robinson, surprisingly, is not listed as questionable. I don't know exactly how much run he's going to get. In that first game, he went out there, he played 20 minutes, really had a shitty shooting performance, of course, as we know with Duncan Robinson. Maybe he can actually get going here, but he is technically more veteranish on this Miami Heat team, so I'm not exactly too sure how many minutes we see from him here in this position. It'll be interesting. Definitely probably be one of the more lower-owned players, but I'll focus more towards the Canes, the RJ Hamptons, just some of these other kids that could probably go out here and actually do something. Hayden Highsmith probably be a decent one. He's a decent fantasy point per minute producing player. Do they have a Swindler? Where's my boy Swindler? Huh. Swindler is not in the player pool, which one of the players I would rather play, considering he's going to jack up his shots and he's going to do what he does out there. So it really sucks that DraftKings doesn't have everybody in the player pool for Miami. But just figuring out the Miami, who's the value, that's going to be the key to the slate right there. Tell you straight out the gate. That is the key. All right, going over here to the Spurs, we seen in that first game Victor Wembanyama, just amazing. Johnson, undisclosed stats for Friday preseason game versus the Heat is to be determined. So it hasn't been decided whether or not if Keldon Johnson's going to play or if he's going to be out. Either way, Vic, 8-2. I'll go ahead and I'll play that all day, every day. Just what that kid went out there and did in that first game. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block in 19 minutes. I would expect he gets a little bit more run here in this position. Probably we could probably see him go into the third. Looking at it, they don't play again until Monday. So they got plenty of time. Definitely would expect Pop maybe to extend the run for Vic and the starters out here. So Victor Wembanyama, Zach Collins, both really great plays. Trey Jones, don't mind him as another play. If Keldon Johnson sits, we'll go right back to Devin Vassell. Off the bench, don't mind Bassie as a possible play. C.D. Usman, he didn't look too bad out there in his minutes to run. Don't mind him. Champagne, maybe another one that you could possibly go to here in this position, this spot. But really, it's going to be just at least Vic. Vic is locked. Vic is, just so you guys go ahead and say it, Vic will be in my core no matter what. Vic is more likely going to be almost damn near, if he's not 100% owned, 90% upper in the 90% owns on this 2-game slate, then either A, somebody knows something that I clearly did not know about the slate, or B, he's just not as good as what I thought he was. But Victor Wembanyama, definitely, especially if we get word that he's going to play 20 minutes, I would take that all day, every day. Gonna go right there. But outside of that, like I said, Trey Jones, you could definitely look to him. He looks pretty decent. Maybe where's Branham? Branham. Possibly can go with him. Backup guard minutes, especially if we do not have Keldon Johnson playing. And then Devin Vassell will be probably it. All right, going over here to the Golden State Warriors side, looking at them. Golden State, they play again. So they're playing today. They're going to be playing again on Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if the starters maybe only play about 20-ish minutes. They only played about 16 minutes in that first game. In that first game that they had played. So maybe some more standard run. Of course, out of them, you got Steph Curry, Chris Paul, Thompson, Wiggins, and Looney. Draymond Green, he's going to be out. Kuminga, we got to pay attention to this news right here, because if he misses, that's really going to suck, because Kuminga was great in their first preseason game. It's someone I wanted to go back to here in this spot. But if he is actually going to miss, then of course Moses Moody off the bench, definitely a great play. Again, we're not going to expect these starters to play heavy, log in heavy minutes. They're going to be playing again, like I said, on Sunday. Wouldn't be surprised if this is not going to be like a dress rehearsal game for them yet. Probably going to be safe for this this Wednesday game, probably, or maybe on the Sunday game. So I won't go too heavy here on the starters. But if I do, I'll be looking at, of course, Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, both of those decent plays. Chris Paul, I think he has a decent floor. Okay, safe play. I still got to see how he's going to mesh with the offense. I really do feel like he's going to be more of a facilitator than he is a scorer anyway. So not going to be too heavy there. With him, Kevon Looney, without Draymond Green out there, you could definitely consider him, go to him. If they have his rebound prop, well, he is going against the Lakers, depending on if AD and Bron sit. Wouldn't mind looking at Kevon Looney's rebound prop. Might be a prop that you can go to. Now, off the bench, of course, Moses Moody, he's right back in play for me. As one of the young guys, got some of the most minutes out there for them. Pozdemiski. I cannot say his name, but he got the second most minutes out there. Well, actually, he got the most minutes out there off the bench for them. Played 26 minutes, looked really good in the time. So definitely between Moody and him would definitely be plays I'd probably take from the Warriors. If we don't get word that they're going to extend the minutes to at least 20-24 minutes, possibly playing into the third quarter, I'll just focus straight up on the bench, guys, on Moody and Pod. These will be the two that I would go straight to if we get word of that, especially if Kuminga was to miss. Of course, like I said, he has that questionable tag. Looked really great, but if Kuminga is to miss, Moody, Pod will be the two main guys that I'll go to. And then outside of them, really, only other person that saw some decent minutes was Saric and Jackson. But Saric, he's a vet. He's an old guy. I don't expect for him to play like that preseason. So no reason really to go there. He's just filling a backup role anyway. So yeah, just Moody, Pod would be the main two I'd go to right there. Maybe you could take a chance on Jackson Davis. And then for the Lakers, again, we just got to get the news, got to know what they're doing with the Lakers. One of these games, they are going to run the Lakers and actually play them decent minutes. Looking at what they did in the preseason before, LeBron played in 4 of the 6 preseason games last season. This season, he says he's going to play in 3. One of those 3, you have to imagine, is going to be the dress rehearsal. Now, the Lakers do play again on Sunday. They're playing up against Dame and Lillard. I'm sorry, they're playing against Dame and Giannis in that game. So maybe Bron plays decently in this game and he sits out on Sunday just because they're not going to try to match up yet and see how it's going to go on Sunday. Or maybe he skips this game, plays on Sunday. We just got to get the news on what the heck Bron is doing. Got to know it. But if we look at preseason last season, this game, the second to last game, was the game that Bron actually played the most minutes, played his 25-ish minutes in that game. And if we look at it, the second to last game is technically this game going up against the Milwaukee Bucks. So yeah, I'm questioning on what are we going to actually see from the Lakers, because it really does matter here in this position spot. Since we don't got the news, we're just going to go off the whim. We're going to wait to get that news, but if Bron sits and AD sits, and of course D'Angelo Russell, if he's playing, we're going to go right back to him. He's been lights out, been really great. I don't mind going right back to Rui as another play. If, all these players are out, Gabe Vincent, he played very well in that time as well without them out there. And then outside of that, now if Bron and AD are going to be back, they're going to be playing, of course. Anthony Davis to me would be the better play between the two. The matchup, he'll have that out there because the Warriors is technically playing pretty small, even though they have Looney out there. And the Lakers are pretty big. So I would definitely be taking more of the height advantage and everything, and the matchup advantage that the Lakers are going to have out there going up against them. So I will be taking AD, would be my main guy that I would go to right there. And then LeBron will be second, unless we get word that he's going to be playing like his 20-plus minutes. Then both of them will still be in play. Christian Wood didn't have a bad game the last time out. Played 20-ish minutes, 13 points, 4 rebounds. So don't mind going to Christian Wood if the big guys miss. Vando, he was out. Even if Vando was back, he's a 3-and-D player. Not going to go there. I'll tell you guys right now, do not chase the Taurean Prince game. players were out. Torian Prince is a 3-and-D guy. That's what he is. He's out there for defense. He's out there knocking down some corner threes, especially if Braun and them are back. I'm not going to mess with Prince. I'll go right back to my young guys off the bench in Hood and Max Christie. Both of these guys, of course, going to be in play. Christie played a shit ton of minutes in that game last time, so definitely like that. Minutes equal production. We'll go right back to Christie right there. Outside of that, none of the other young guys off their bench really tickles a whistle and does anything for me. So it's going to be a pretty condensed player pool from the Lakers. Christie, Hood would be the main two guys I'll focus on and pay attention to. Davis, if he's actually in. If no Bron, Davis still, even if LeBron in, him are in. And then if both of them out, D'Angelo Russell. Really, just got to pay attention to the news on that one. All right, guys, that's going to be a breakdown for me today. Hopefully, you guys got a little bit of information that you could use. If you guys have not done so already, hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the content. You're going to get this stuff right here, exactly the same thing for the actual NBA season, along with the fact that I'm putting out my player report, my course, all that stuff, and props. Props will be coming when we get more props and stuff like that up, and the data is rolling in for that. I will have the props and stuff to go along as well. Talk to me down in the Discord. Talk to me in the chat. Talk to me here on the YouTube comments. I will answer questions as they come out and as I can. Hopefully, you guys have a great day and you guys cash and crush out. Let's see if I can take down the 10K today, since I was so close yesterday and just made a boneheaded decision. Not going to do that today. Not doing that 2 days in a row. Good luck to you guys. Peace.